Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time again. It is time for another TBR video. So this will be what I'm going to read in the month of September. And some of this is going to carry over from August because go figure, I didn't read everything I wanted to. Mostly because I flew through 3 Dresden books in about 4 days. And then I didn't read anything for like 5 days after that. So let's talk about September. Before I get started though, quick shout out to Michael R. Miller, the author of the Songs of Chaos series, for sending me these awesome, gorgeous hardcover editions of this Boy and His Blind Dragon. So I believe this is a YA-ish kind of series. It's definitely giving me some Aragon vibes with, you know, Boy and His Dragon narrative. The things that he told me about the books, just the, you know, his inspirations and things that he tries to pull from sound super interesting. Just going to read the back of this real quick. And I mean, just, this is some quality stuff, man. Usually when I get books sent to me, whether it be self-pub or otherwise, I mean, damn, like The Purple Prince was one of the best looking and feeling books that I've been sent. These are rivaling it. The pages are like thick paper and they feel crisp and quality. The text looks great. I love the hardcover art directly on the book. It's beautiful. Just super, super high quality. But here's what the series is about. Holt Cook was never meant to be a dragon rider. He has always served the Order Hall of the Crag dutifully, keeping their kitchen pots clean, until he discovers a dark secret. Dragons do not tolerate weakness among their kin, killing the young they deem flawed. Moved by pity, Holt defies the order, rescues a doomed egg, and vows to protect the blind dragon within. But the scourge is rising, undead hordes from the land spreading the blight and leaving destruction in their wake. The dragon riders are being slaughtered and betrayal lurks in the shadows. Holt has one chance to survive. He must cultivate the mysterious power of his dragon's magical core, a unique energy which may tip the balance in the battles to come and prove to the world that a servant is worthy after all. So, strictly based on that, it is giving me strong Aragon vibes, and I loved Aragon growing up, so potentially a new favorite here. I don't know. We'll see. I'm definitely going to read this, though. It looks super interesting. Sounds awesome. And thank you again for sending me these gorgeous books. All right, so first up on the September TBR is going to be a first for the channel. Now, I used to, at a younger age, read a decent amount of manga and watch anime. And that was mostly DBZ growing up as a young lad. But the main things that I actually read and watched were Naruto. All of it in both the manga and the anime. I watched all of Full Metal Alchemist and Brotherhood, consumed all of that via anime, never actually read any of it. And Arcane on Netflix, I guess, would be the only other anime show that I've watched. But myself, L at Elliot Brooks, Jess Owens, and Patrick Leo will be doing a read-along starting next month for Full Metal Alchemist. So these are the first 6 here, so we're going to do 6 volumes a month leading up to a live show in December. There are going to be Patreon reading sprints on L's Patreon in October and November, so definitely check those out. We will be reading all of these, so I believe there's 18 of them, so it should take us right up to that December live show to talk about the series, and I'm super excited because it's been a while since I've actually read any manga, and I've never covered it on the channel, so I'm not exactly sure how to cover it yet. Probably just a volume at a time, and we'll see. I mean, the good thing about Full Metal Alchemist is even if you're not big into manga or anime, the series is incredibly relatable. The characters are excellent and well fleshed out. The whole alchemy surrounding the series is so well done and interesting, and the plotting, the characters, the storylines, the love, the relationships, the stakes, it's all great. Everything that I remember about it, I remember loving, and I'm really looking forward to it, and I think general fans of fantasy will have a lot to pull out of the series, so if you're interested at all, give it a try. You don't have to get the Full Metal editions like these. They do get rather expensive. I think manga in general is pretty expensive, but I know these editions just look gorgeous, which is why I went for these. So we'll be reading these starting in September. All right, so that'll just be kind of like ongoing throughout September. I'll read a volume here or there because they read pretty quickly. So at some point in December, just jumping ahead to other months. And some point in September, I'm going to actually read Wind Through the Keyhole, which was supposed to be on my August TBR, and I just didn't get to it yet. This is what Dark Tower 5.2 or 2 point, what is it? This is Dark Tower like 5.5 kind of. I don't know that it's like a direct continuation of the series. It's kind of like a side story. Is that accurate? I don't know. I'll find out. It's definitely a lot shorter. It's like 200 and some pages, where Wizard and Glass felt like a damn Malazan book. So I'm not really sure what to expect out of this, since it's kind of like a bridge between Wizard and Glass and book 6. I don't know if it's like a side story, if it's just more, lore or world building in the Dark Tower series. I don't honestly know. It's super short though, so I don't think it's going to take too long to get through. And I love the Dark Tower, so whatever more content of the Dark Tower and Stephen King I get, awesome. Next up, I will be concluding my read-through of the Greenbone Saga with Jade Legacy. And speaking of brilliant-looking hardcover books with everything printed directly on it, this is my favorite kind of book, without any kind of sleeve, just printed right on there. This series is great. So this is totally different so far from a lot of the fantasy that I've read, and I've mentioned that a couple times now when talking about this series. I haven't done any reviews specifically for each book. What I'm probably going to do is a series review when I complete this next month, and I believe Leanna's reading it at the same time, so we may or may not do some kind of either reading collab or video. We'll see. I know we're both reading at the same time. That's all I know, but she's going to read like 47 other books too. The series is great though. The characters are super intriguing. I love the magic system and how Jade is used not only as a magic system, but also just a currency and just like a power material in the world that everybody's kind of fighting over, control of. Just kind of like a natural resource almost, that you kind of control the Jade, you control the world type thing. So it's super, super interesting. And a lot of these characters are kind of garbage humans. I mean, like I said, it's warring clans, warring gang factions in a sense, where you're following them, so you care about their characters and their lives and their struggles, but you also realize that like they're kind of making life miserable for a lot of people around them, just because of it's essentially like mafia bosses fighting against each other. So it's not entirely great, and they take control of government positions. They make people pay tribute to them for their protection, quote unquote. So I don't know. It's really interesting. I like the sort of real world feel of it, where there's pretty minimal magic in it. Like Greenbones kind of like augment themselves with their Jade. They're not like running around like bouncing off the walls, like blasting people with magic powers. It's more of like enhanced abilities, so they're almost like super soldiers when they're using Jade. So that's really cool. And there's a lot more that I'll go into when I review it finally, but I've really enjoyed it. I think Fonda Lee is a fantastic writer, and yeah, it's one of the best it's one of the best current fantasy series that I've read, and Fonda Lee has definitely made a name for herself now in this realm of fantasy books, and these books kick ass. So then, since those are the main two like books that I'm reading, and then Full Metal throughout the month, which won't take too long. So I'm actually going to do The Warrior, as I planned on doing in August, because I did have a proof copy of it. I unfortunately didn't get around to it, and the book has released. So definitely check out Stephen Arion and his series, The Coward and The Warrior, because these books are, well, book 1 I thought was great. I loved it a lot. And The Warrior is going to be the conclusion of it, because it is a nice duology. And I actually got these gorgeous editions that I actually showed off on Instagram too. They were from Broken Binding, which if you follow Broken Binding at all, you ever see their special editions that they create, they're always signed. They're gorgeous. They're limited editions, so get them before they sell out. And it's just the quality of the prints, the pages, the sleeve that you get with it, the dust jacket, just everything is quality top to bottom with these books. And like I said, I love, just straight up hardcovers with prints directly on them. And again, the dust jackets are gorgeous as well. Comes with the bookmark too, the built-in, bookmark. But I'm really looking forward to finishing this, and definitely check this series out if you haven't. It's a lot of fun. And that's realistically all I'm going to get to in September. It seems like a lot because there's 6 volumes of manga, but I'm anticipating that not taking entirely too long. If it does end up taking me a long time, that's kind of where I'll stop. If I do have room in the TBR, though, I am going to start fitting in at least one self-pub book a month because I really need to get my shit together and start reading my entire shelf of self-pub books that I have. So I'm going to fit in the Magic Fix right here. So this book by Mark Montanaro, he actually sent to me several months ago, and I just hadn't gotten around to reading it yet. But the cool thing about this is it's giving me a lot of Discworld vibes. There's tons of comedy built into it, and it's the kind of comedy that I look for. There's a lot of just, I don't know, dry, silly humor and like British humor that I really get a kick out of, and it seems like that's what this will give me. So it sounds like it'll be a lot of fun. Definitely check this out if you haven't heard about it. What I did like when I first got this book sent to me is I read the about page on the back, which I'll do again here because it's hilarious, where Mark, writing about himself, Mark has always been a man of many talents. He can count with both hands. How many of you can do that? Get 5-letter words on Countdown, and once solved a Rubik's Cube in just 5 days, 13 hours, and 59 minutes. So like that kind of humor. Like I love that. It's self-deprecating, it's dry, it's hilarious. His creativity started at an early age when he invented plenty of imaginary friends and even more imaginary girlfriends. As he got older, he started to use his talents to change the world for the better. World peace, poverty reduction, climate change. Mark imagined he had solutions to all of them. He now lives in London with his Xbox, television, and non-imaginary girlfriend. Congrats to you, Mark. He has recently embarked on his greatest and most creative project yet, a witty novel set in a fantasy world. The Magic Fix, Mark's debut book, is set to be his best work so far. So like, that shit's funny. That's good. That's good. Mark Montanaro. That's good, man. So I have high hopes for this because I think it's going to make me laugh. So The Magic Fix will be the final thing that I read in the month of September. And that's going to wrap it up for, as I step away from the camera like a moron, that's going to wrap it up for September. So super excited. Super excited. What was that? Just got like Irish for a second. Super excited for September. Getting back into some manga with one of my favorite series that I had ever been introduced to in the anime world, in Full Metal Alchemist. Wrapping up the Greenbone Saga, which is excellent. Continuing the Dark Tower. And, you know, just going along with the finishing of the duology by Stephen Arion, which I'm excited for. And then finally getting around to some of these self-pub books that I need to start reading. So definitely looking forward to next month. It's going to be great. But please let me know in the comments down below anything that you see here that you have any interest in or that you've read before. Tell me if you loved it, hated it, whatever it may be. And let me know some of the books that you're most excited for, you know, your upcoming TBR if you keep one. Yeah, so let me know in the comments down below. And until next time, guys.